Today is step 26 Capricorn. We're going to be going live. It is also day 2 of the 28-day life reset. So if you're in the 28-day life reset right now, let me know in the comments. Let me know how day 1 went. How was your experience? Did you enjoy the new layout? Did you enjoy the new classes? Are you enjoying the shorter versions of the content? When we actually launched the 28-day a year ago, 2 years ago, it was very small and it was a beta test, but we had 2-hour podcasts in there. And it was a lot of work for people to get through, and most people couldn't get through it because of that. So we've actually set it up now so you move through it quickly. It's a lot easier to get through the content, so the success rate is going to increase, and we're going to be able to help more people. I think by the end of this year, we'll actually have the 28-day life reset translated in a few different languages. I know in Sweden right now, there's about 1,000 people doing it in Swedish. So if you speak another language and you want to help us build a 28-day life reset, that would be really powerful. I think that the world needs us right now, and a very small percentage of the world actually speaks English. And if we really want to help 1 billion people, we're going to need to get our videos in other languages. So one of the plans that I have this year is to create a Google Drive folder. And in that folder have different languages. And if you create videos, content, blog posts around our content, guides, and you've translated them for us or created the fashion maneuver videos in other languages, you'll just be able to put it in that folder. We'll take it, we'll post it up on our platform and share it so that other people can see it. And that way there's the least amount of resistance to us getting it up, but also it'll allow people to help in the way that they can by translating. So if you want to translate and you want to help, get the 28-day life reset into other languages, you want to translate our videos into other languages, then you can actually do that. Are there a lot of Swiss people practicing? There's about 1,000 people in Sweden. Swiss, I'm not sure. Switzerland, I'm not sure. Soon we're going to have actually sections where you can see people in your area. We're working on that right now, and that way you'll be able to connect with people close to you. Wow, today is slow on the live. If you would like to, hit the like button and share this. Let's see if we can get it out to more people. Normally we're at about 150, so I'm not sure if the algorithm's a bit slower today. But yeah, if you're in the 28-day life reset, we've set it up this time so you've got about 5 to 10 minutes of education with about 15 to 20 minutes of movement per day. And if you do that over a long period of time, you're going to reduce stress, you're going to feel better in your body, and you're going to show up as a better person in your world. This is the year to do it. It's actually pretty cool. We've got about 10,000 people in the new programs right now, and they've just launched over the last few weeks, and about just over 1,000 simultaneously doing this 28-day life reset. So it's pretty exciting to see everybody go through. If you go into our circle community, you'll actually see all the journal entries, the before and after photos posting up right now. Please, if you've already done the program, go in there and comment and help some people behind you, because right now having that accountability, having somebody to comment and support you, it really makes a big difference in our programs. We built our programs on having a global community, and that global community supporting each other is really what's going to help people get through it. So the mass signs are clearing me right out. Yes. One of the things from the mass signs too, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the supplement guide, but they do make you gassy. And the reason why is it's digesting the food that is undigested in your system, and when it digests, it creates a gas. Converts from solid to gas. but you're gonna have more energy, your skin's gonna get softer, you're gonna digest better, you're gonna have a clear mind by taking the high dose. And a lot of people ask, is it really 25 per day? The answer is yes. They're very small capsules. They're only about, I would say one regular capsule is about 4 of the mass cymes. So they're not very big, they're small. If you took 25 of those, that would be about 8 capsules of any other product in a capsule form. We're working to see if we can potentially get it in a powder form. It smells terrible, but if you get it in a powder form, you just take 2 or 3 scoops, throw it in some water or a drink, then it might help. But that's what we're working on right now. I think by the end of this year, we're gonna have a 28-day package, and that package is gonna be in a box. Hopefully it'll have like the supplement guide in there. You'll get all your products, including the ones from companies that have the products that we don't sell, so that you'll just be able to get it all at once. The other thing too is we added a subscription onto our website. So for people who want to purchase the supplements regularly, you can actually get a discount now. I've never been a huge fan of discounts, but I do believe in people taking care of themselves regularly, and I want to support that behavior. So we switched to a subscription model. If you subscribe to our products, you save, I think 12%. So you can get it's shipped automatically every month. You can pick which products you want. And the reason why I wanted to do that is I want to support people who are taking care of themselves. I want to support people who want to make a routine out of taking the right things. So that is there now. You will be able to save. And if you're in our Circle community and you want to and you're not already, you can contribute monthly. And all of these contributions, all the sales to our products goes right back into creating more content. We are a very small team. We take everything that we generate and we pour it right back into the mission, into growing this. There's no personal gain. I've probably bought maybe like 3 pairs of shorts for myself in the last 4 years. Nothing else. It's really everything that I haven't bought anything for myself. I've gotten some t-shirts with the Human Garage logo on it, but we have dedicated our time to creating this to help people, because right now the world needs it. And I really see the education system crashing. I see the healthcare system changing. And I believe that people are going to start healing themselves. I believe that people are going to be self-sufficient and have all of those tools. So these programs are the way that we do it. I believe that by going through it on your own, learning about your body and how to heal yourself, and then helping the people behind you is the way that we're going to be able to really make an impact. So if you want to donate monthly, you want to contribute, you can. There's actually an option when you sign up for our app, you can contribute. If not, you can do it afterwards. Why no personal gain? Shouldn't you be making an income for your work? Everything that we do is taken care of. Where I live, if I need to go somewhere, if I need to eat something, but I'm not looking for that. I believe that system is crashing anyways. So the system of building a pile for yourself out of fear that you won't be taken care of, and it doesn't work. That's just trying to satiate or put a band-aid over the emotions that you don't trust or know that you're going to be taken care of or be okay. I don't need that anymore. So if you have any questions about the 28th day, just put it in the comments. Let me know. I'm looking at the Lifestyle Artist Program next. So we've been really just focusing our time and attention on the 1, the 3, and the 7 day to improve it so that you have a better experience. It's easier to go through. The content's more clear. You learn the same things in less time. It's a better user experience. You can connect with others in a better way. So we're working on that right now, but then we're going to go into the Lifestyle Artist Program, and the 28 day is really just to bring awareness so that you can reset your body. The Lifestyle Artist Program is going to go into what you can really do about it. So what are the products that we use in our day-to-day life, such as laundry magnets, such as Omnia Balancer, which is like a little sticker you can put on your phone for EMF. The cacao we use, the food, all that kind of stuff. We're going to put it in the Lifestyle Artist program next. So people basically go from learning the basics, figuring out if they really like doing the maneuvers, if they believe in our philosophy or not, in the 1, the 3, and the 7 day. And if they do, they join the 28 day, which brings them back into balance, creates a bit of awareness, reduces stress over time, helps supplement the body with the things that it needs. And then the Lifestyle Artist program is going to transition into more, here's the things that you can do that we recommend so that you can build a healthy lifestyle and turn this into a lifestyle rather than just something you do for 28 days. How do you make this sustainable? I believe the only way to turn health into something that's sustainable is to create an environment, habits, and routines that are sustainable and that are healthy. So what does that look like? Removing the chemicals from your environment. Well, okay, what does that look like? Which products are you going to use? What are you going to substitute with? Which ones do we recommend? I'm highly motivated to create a clothing brand at some point. I don't know if I'll create it, if I'll partner with someone. I've looked for a long time for organic products that are scalable, that you can ship worldwide, that aren't limited in sizes and colors and have weird styles. So that's maybe a project that we're going to take on in the future, is creating our own clothing brand and supplying that for people, because I do see that that's a massive gap in the market. I believe if you're wearing something for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 15 hours a day, that is a high priority. That is something that you should change. That if you're lying in bed for 8, 10 hours a day, you should probably change that if it has chemicals in it. These are like the little things, they add up. And if you go from one thing to the next and it's hurting you, you're just going to be in a deficit at the end of the day. So really what my goal is not to give you a couple movements to work on your fascia. It's to help you transform your life. And that includes your relationships, that includes your environment, that includes what you do for work, your job, your friends, the way you interact with them, the way you handle your emotions, the way you understand your body, all of that. It's all connected. One can't work without the others. And it really just starts with the fascia and the fascia maneuvers, but we will progress more into the lifestyle stuff as you go, and then ultimately progress into a community. So how do you live and work and coexist with a group of people from around the world with different backgrounds, different belief systems, different philosophies? How do you live with them? How do you work with them? How do you make that work and thrive? That is what we're working on behind the scenes. We're piloting ourselves. We actually live and work with our team. We have people from all over the world that come and live with us. We work together. We go to the beach together. We eat together. And we're building a model that's sustainable, that works, because human beings are social creatures. We are supposed to be social. We are supposed to live with people. We're not supposed to be alone. We're not supposed to be isolated. We're not supposed to be separated from our grandparents. We're not supposed to have kids in school all day separated from their parents. I mean, these are just the little things that we're working on. How do we actually make all of that work? It's a big project, but I think if we work on all of them a little bit simultaneously over time, that everything will come together nicely. Yeah, these are just all the little intentions. And when the funny thing is, when you're creating a brand or you're helping people, there's only so much that you can say up front, because we have a very wide net, which is a lot of people are in pain, a lot of people are stressed, a lot of people need help in their bodies, and a lot of people don't understand their body, and a lot of people rely on a system to help them, to tell them what's wrong with their body, what's right with their body, what they should put in their body, what they should do day to day. So that's a very wide net. That's a lot of people that we can help. And that message is what we drive on the front end, because that helps and reaches the most amount of people. But as you progress through the programs, you're going to find out pretty quickly that we also focus on lifestyle, and we also are focusing on building a community. And that is what wins long term. Like if you look at the brands that have won over time, CrossFit, Lululemon, just to name a few, one in the sense that they've built a really strong community. I don't necessarily believe with their philosophies or their belief systems or their culture, but they have created community. If you go to a CrossFit gym right now, you walk in, people introduce themselves, they give you a hug, you show up, there's challenges, there's competitions, people work together, there's a community. You can go and you can find a community of people and you can connect with them. At Lululemon, you go into a store, you see a picture on the wall, there's an ambassador. And that ambassador is somebody who's in their local community, building community. They are inspiring others in their community to be healthier. They have community classes. Their staff has a Visa card that they can go and use to take care of themselves. So they have a really strong community presence. They have people who work together. They go to classes together. They have weekly meetings. They have weekly events. They do events in the community. That's the type of thing that wins long term in a company, in an organization, or anything really, because we're social. It comes back to we are social beings, and being able to find a way to turn what was an online organization into a community is a completely different challenge, because during the pandemic when we launched, we weren't able to do this in person. We did it online. So the way that we did it was we went onto Zoom and we brought people into Zoom meetups, and we would ask them where they're from, what's going on in their bodies, and we had people sharing what they were going through, and we answered questions. We shared our philosophy and our beliefs. We built community online during the pandemic, and we built the organization off of online, which is brand new. Most companies all start in person. So that's what made us successful. And the challenge with that is it's easy when you got like 100 or 200 or 300 or 1,000 people. But what happens when you have 10,000 people? You can't even put 10,000 people in a Zoom call anymore. It only goes up to 1,000. Then it goes into a webinar. And if you go into a webinar, then you lose the connection with your audience. So there's all these little things that we're working on right now to find solutions so that we can actually build a global community. The other thing too is, how do we meet with everybody, get to know everybody, and answer all the questions and help people feel heard and connected to? That is something that we've been working on the back end. We have people who've gone through our programs called Lifestyle Artist Hosts and Fashion Maneuver Coaches who are now hosting calls weekly. And they go into those calls every week, and they show up, and people can participate and introduce themselves. They can ask questions. They can connect with others from around the world. And so what we did is we were able to take what made us successful and what built the global community and built the foundation of all of this, and we've transferred that to people who've gone through our program so they can do the same. It's kind of like AA. Anywhere in any city around the world, you can show up, somebody's going to open the door, people share, they connect around an idea, around a philosophy. But now we're doing that online. And because we can do that online, we can reach a lot of people. And then from there, we're going to start getting into cities. So if you go onto our website right now, you'll see at the events, you can see New York and you can see Vancouver. Those are two cities where every single week there's classes being hosted, or two regions. And the purpose of that is to start to build the local community now, because over the next year, I have a strong feeling that the ability for us to reach people online is going to change. There's a lot. Google's changed their policies on what content's going to go out. I know Instagram's changing their policies. I've received messages that Gmail and mailing services are going to change their policies over the next few months. This is all coming to a head right now. Canadian broadcast stations are changing their policies. You now have, if you want to build a podcast in Canada, you have to register as a radio station. Content in Canada is now being censored. So all of this ability to reach people online is going to change. Therefore, we need to build a local presence in cities that brings people together in person. So how do we do that? we're going to have coaches who've gone through our programs online start popping up classes in their local cities. And we're going to start showcasing those on our website. So right now we have New York and we have Vancouver, but we also have people in Minnesota, we have people in Toronto, we have people in Montreal, we have people in Spain and Italy, we have people in Mexico, all hosting classes. And we want to start promoting that. We're going to start putting that on our website, so you'll be able to go and find a class in your city and you can contribute to that. That helps us support those coaches so they can continue to help. And this is how we're really going to create that solid foundation, irrespective of what happens to technology, irrespective of what happens with politics, what happens with social media, messaging, censorship. We'll be able to reach people. So that's what we're working on right now. Yes, UK, Sweden, there's a lot of people in these areas that are starting to get together. So this is how we're going to get through the next year. If you want to start teaching classes, if you want to become a coach, if you want to do it through us, go through the 28-day life reset, go through the Lifestyle Artist program. Once you're done all that, you can actually learn the way that we do it. If not, you can go take the philosophy that you've learned and applied to yourself and start teaching others anyways. I want you to get out there and start teaching this. If I was a coach right now in a local city, I would be going to every yoga studio saying, I have this new movement practice. It's very similar to yoga and it's going to help your audience. I would love to teach a class for your staff. I would love to teach a class to your members to see how it resonates, and try it with people. Get this into the yoga studios. Get this into your work. Like if you work for a big company or a corporation or even a small one, and you notice that your team is stressed or they're dealing with a lot of health issues, then maybe introduce it to your boss. Let them know, like, hey, every Monday we do this like health and wellness thing. Why don't we try fascial maneuvers? I'll be happy to teach. Or maybe you can message us and we'll send you a coach. We're starting to build a list of coaches. We're starting to build a list of classes that you can attend. And that's going to happen pretty quickly here. It's a high priority for us because of where the world's going right now. People are starting to really feel it in their bodies. We're starting to notice it in our messages that we're receiving every single week. And we're doing the best that we can to answer all of them. Again, we have a small team, but with coaches and with hosts and with volunteers coming in through our programs to help, we're going to be able to scale this. Yeah, if you know people in your area doing it, please message them, connect with them, meet up with them. One of the things that I want to work on, and this is just still in the early stages, I was thinking about it yesterday, is a 28-day life reset with a partner. And basically the way that it would start is you join the program and you join it with a partner and you partner up. And you say, okay, day one, we're going to focus on this. Here's your class for the day. Here's what you're going to take. Here's the reflection exercise or something that you can do together to help yourselves. And this is going to be a new program. I don't know when we're going to launch it. It's just at the idea stage right now, but it is something that I want to put out there because it's going to show people that you can help someone else and you can learn to work on the body really simply. It doesn't take long. You don't need to go to school for 10 years. You don't need to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can do it for free and you can learn how to help somebody. And that's really the direction that we're taking things. I don't necessarily believe in the system. I went through the school system. I spent thousands of dollars. I spent many, many years studying and it didn't get me anywhere. And I learned more in just a couple of weeks doing this. So why go through all that time and spend all that money if you can learn all the simple things yourself? Good, you homeschool your daughter and have been teaching these maneuvers. That's awesome. Yes, we have Parents Helping Children program releasing soon. It's now in beta, and people who would like to participate in that, it's going to be launched soon. And the idea around that is there's a lot of kids right now with autism. There's a lot of kids with ADHD, anxiety, depression, MS, cerebral palsy. There's a lot of autoimmune. There's a lot of children struggling right now, and they do not have an outlet. doctors don't have answers, and parents are completely lost. They don't know what to do anymore. So we actually had a couple of parents come through our programs who were very motivated to help their children and share this. So right now we are creating that program. It's in beta. It will be launched soon. You will be able to sign up for it if you have kids and you want to help them. And you can go through the program with your kids. It's like a family reset. And actually, I'm a big fan of that, because when you go through the reset, the world is a completely different world than when you started, and it's nice. Sorry guys, I got a call. If you have people that are the closest to you going through that same process, it makes a big difference. So that program's coming. You will be able to do it with your kids. We'll have the dosing, the supplements, the movements, and all the videos created so that you can help them. But I am very, very excited for that. I'm very, very excited for the partner 28 day as well. The way that I really see this going is there's a lot of ideas and a lot of ways that it can go. I'm just going to share the ideas because I'm an ideas guy. I like thinking of cool things that we can do to help people. But the 28 day really just started as a beta. We threw it up. We put up a bunch of podcasts. We put up a bunch of videos that we had filmed at the time. People went through it. They had a transformation, and it was great, but it was difficult and challenging for a lot of people to finish. So here we are. We've taken about 25 to 28 different classes. We've cut them down. We've cut down podcasts and different videos into just about 1 to 5, 10 minutes so that you can learn about it. Now, you'll be able to get through it faster. But where I actually see this going, and you know, maybe there's a television network or some funding that we can do to make this happen, but I would like to have a family sign up, and we go into their house, we walk through the house, we're filming all of this, we interview the family, the kids, the parents, where they're at, what's going on, we get to know them a little bit, we go through their bathroom and we look at all the chemicals, and we educate them right there on film about the products that are in their bathroom. We throw out all the ones that are not working. We bring in and substitute products that we believe in. We then go to their kitchen, and I mean, we can go as wild as we want. We can angrily throw their box of Fruit Loops off the balcony, and just kind of make some fun with it. But it would be really just to audit people's homes and environment and show them live, and do it with a family, so the family can experience it and track each person's experience over the 28 days. So, you know, you interview the kids for 5 minutes at night and just have them do like a little reflection. And in the morning, you ask them, how did they sleep? What's going on? And you track this journey over time. Now, that's going to require a big film team, an editing team, a director, and all that other stuff. And there's a way to do it. And I do want to do it because I think that there's an element that comes with following people's journey. Like when you go through it yourself, it is good and it helps, but I also think that there's a lot of entertainment, education, and value when you watch someone else go through something, when you watch their emotions, when you watch their narratives, when you watch them learn about something that they didn't know before. And that is going to be one of the projects that eventually I hope to be working on for the 28 day. We'll be able to actually have that filmed, cut, and created. It will be our own little like television series. So if you like that and you want to be a part of that, let me know in the comments, because this is something that I think we can probably do within the next year. The other one that we're working on behind the scenes is building community. I don't know what's going to happen this year in terms of food, electricity, Wi-Fi, connectivity, whatever it might be. I'm not sure where exactly the direction of things. There's like a small little rain cloud on me. I don't know exactly where things are going to go, but I do know that people are going to want a place to go where they feel safe, where they can connect with others, where they have access to food. So right now I'm looking at a farm. It's about an hour and a half away from where we are in Cancun right now. It's on indigenous land that grows avocados, and it's got mangoes, it's got pineapple, it's got all this different fruit and vegetables growing on the land, and it's organic, it's protected land. We're looking at that right now. We're just going through the work because it is Indigenous land. It's a very different process to work with. But we're doing that right now because we want to make sure that our community has access to food, clean food, and make sure that we're all taken care of. I want to take care of our community. That's one project. On top of that, we're also looking for land that we can host about 80 to 100 people to start. That it is quite large, but what I want to do is I want to bring people in our community who are helping others, who work for us, who volunteer, who are going through the programs, who are contributing in some way, who have skills that we need in order to build a global community. I want to find a space that we can host all those people, and ideally near the ocean, ideally in nature. Ideally can host about 80 to 100 people. Ideally it's close to clean food and water, and ideally has electricity and connectivity attached to the property so that we can still stay connected. But this is the project that we're working on behind the scenes, and the reason why we're doing it is because people are going to need a landing spot over the next year. If we all get together and we fundraise, or we put together our resources and we bring everybody to a place that has a common belief system, which is we belong in community, we should take care of our bodies, we should clean out the chemicals that are hurting us from our environments, we should have children and grandparents connecting and learning from each other, I think that we can really build this pretty quickly. Now, do we build it from scratch? Do we find a property that's for sale? I'm not sure. I think finding one that's already in alignment, that is for sale, or that somebody wants to donate or provide, would be the best way to do it right now. Property number 2 or 3, I think I would like to build. And the reason why is because I see a lot of technology coming out today with sustainable farming, sustainable energy, that's without wires, without all the issues, without relying on anybody or anything, that I want to test, I want to create. I want to bring in the right people who've worked with these systems, who understand these systems and want to help build it. And we can fundraise for that and put together a pot, bring in experts, create a community, test it out, bring people in, and see how it goes. That's a longer process. I don't even know how to do half of those things. So we're going to need to find the people with the skills. We're going to need to fundraise in order to do the research and also find the products and the technology to make all that happen. But that is actually what I want to do. But I know that that's a longer timeline than what we're going to need for the property this year. I feel we're going to want it probably before July. So we will be launching a fundraiser for that. I don't know when we're going to launch the actual fundraising, but I do want to get that up pretty quickly. If you want to donate, if you want to contribute to something like that, we will provide a place for that. And the intention of it is to bring people together, to research community, to research sustainable living. This is the future. This is where everybody's going right now. This is, it's going to be fundamental in all of the changes. So I hope that excites you, because it excites me, and that's sort of where the vision is, the direction that we're going. Put it in the comments if that's something you want to be a part of. Any advice for pronation? Pronation, do the lower body reset on our website, and you're gonna have to do that daily. You know the what, the how will find you. Thank you, Mara. Yes. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm actually very excited for the future. January 15th, which was yesterday, was a shift. It was a shift into a new era, a shift into a new body, a new life, a new vision. Everybody's kind of switching archetypes. A couple examples of a switch is Sagittariuses are becoming the unicorns, I'm a Sagittarius. We're becoming the unicorns, which is to bring magic, unlimited possibilities to the masses. The Aquarians are going to be the forward thinkers. They're going to be the ones bringing new ideas. They're the term that Chris Witecki used was soul capital, so bringing the business and higher self and higher purpose and humanity into one. Right now we have our business life and then we have our personal life, but there's a way to integrate the two so that it's sustainable and healthy. You speak of the things I envisioned since 2000. Yes, Jill. I wasn't old enough to be envisioning it in 2000, but about 10 years ago. Okay, I'm gonna turn my... It's on max. Okay. Sagittarius ascendant. Yeah, you know what? So I'm going to bring this topic up just because it's something that's interested me in the last few days. So astrology is a science that studies the alignment of the planets and how it impacts your body. A lot of people believe in it, a lot of people don't. There's a lot of very intellectual people who speak about astrology or don't speak about it. Because they don't want everybody else to have access to that type of information. There's quotes like, billionaires use astrology, but millionaires don't. Or you can go to Hippocrates, which said any doctor that does not use astrology is a fool, not a doctor. It's a pretty aggressive message, but it does impact us. And so it's a massive science, and there's a lot to learn. And how do you even start? And when I started to learn about it, it was a behemoth. There was so much. It was too much for me to understand. It was very confusing, and it was a process. So I learned a little bit every single day using Serious Joy. The Pattern's also a really good app. I've been aware that you progress you progress your chart. I just never understood it. I didn't understand what it meant. I didn't understand what that looked like. But I just found out I'm a progressed Capricorn. And progressed charts, from the definition that I was able to find, let me just pull it up right now because it was actually quite a good one. Now, think of astrology like you are born on this planet, and inside of you when you were born is a DNA. We can all agree upon that. 95% of the DNA, they say they don't understand. What is it? What does it mean? Well, part of that is your astrology. So the time of your birth, where you were born, and the time that you were born at, the position of different planets with respect to you at that moment imprints a code into your DNA. And that influences the decisions and the reactions that you make day to day. So you have circumstances, and the way that you react to those circumstances is based on that astrological DNA. I actually don't look at it as DNA, you have brown eyes, this and that. I look at it as you have a soul imprint, which is your DNA. And when you're born, that's kind of like the start of it. But you learn and you grow over time. So what does that look like? And I was looking at this the other day. It's called a progressed chart. Now, the definition of a progressed chart this is something that I found online. It says, think of your birth chart, so the day that you were born, as your factory settings. This is the fresh out of box model of you. I love it. That's exactly how I see it. That's exactly how I think about it. And it reveals your fundamental nature. The progressed chart maps your system upgrades. You wouldn't run an old Windows or iOS when a far more advanced software was available. The progress chart keeps you updated over time. So what does that even mean? I don't know. I'm still looking into it. But the way that I understand it is you move. So if you are born at 0 degrees Pisces, when you turn 1 year old, you progress to 1 degrees Pisces. When you turn 2 years old, you progress to 2 degree Pisces, and so forth. So if you're 50 years old, you've progressed 50 degrees from the degree that you started at. So you might have started in one sign, now you're in another one. For example, if you started at 0 degrees Pisces and you're now 40 years old, you've gone through all 29 degrees of Pisces and now you've moved into Aquarius. So you actually are progressed to an Aquarius. You have upgraded your software to an Aquarius. You have learned all the lessons that you needed in Pisces, and now you've become an Aquarius. Now, I'm not an expert in this. Brand new to me. I'm very interested in it, though, because I have progressed to Capricorn, and that happened at about 6 years old. And I'm at 26 degrees Capricorn right now, which is a Grandmaster step of Capricorn, and Capricorn's all about leadership, decision-making. It's about commitment. And it's a master step that I'm at right now, and I feel that. I feel that at my core. And what was funny is I was like, okay, so what does this look like if I project into the future? Can I see what my chart looks like? Yes, you can. You can go to any date and you can look at what your chart would say at that date. So I projected 3 years or 3 to 4 years into the future, which is when I'll be 33 years old. And at 33 years old, I'm 29 Capricorn in 3 of my primary states of awareness, which is really interesting. That's like the peak of my leadership skills. And that is what I've been working on for years. The human body interests me. Growth and transformation and lifestyle interest me. But I love learning about growing things, creating things, building community, ideas, building stuff. That's really what I like to do. I like to create. I'm an artist. I just don't do it with a canvas and paint. I do it with systems and processes and businesses and communities and people and programs and training and education. That's how I like to express my art. So I have been feeling those changes over the last few years, and it's been coming to a peak. And at 33 to 34 years old, I'm going to hit a peak of all of that energy, which is very interesting to me. So because I wanted to understand this a little bit more, and I'm now starting to do some research on it, I pulled all of the progress charts of the people around me, and I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. I can see that. I can see that they're expressing a different sign than what they are innately born as. Now, how does it show up in your world? I don't know yet. But I asked Aisha, and I said, okay, let's look at when you became a Grandmaster Pisces, because she's a 10 degrees Pisces, which is a Taurus Pisces. And I said, okay, when was your peak date when you worked for Cirque du Soleil? And that's your peak performance in your life. You reached a peak, the top of the top 1% performing at something. And I asked her, what age was that? And she gave me the age, and I was like, okay, great, let's look at the chart at that day. And I looked at the chart, and her progress chart, she had progressed to 25 degrees Pisces, which is a Grandmaster Pisces step. And she said, but I stopped for a little bit, for a couple of years, and then I peaked again at 18. So then I progressed it again, and it was at 29 Pisces. So I looked at she reached the peak of her life in performance in an area of something that she'd been focusing on for years at 2 Grandmaster steps of her progress chart. So I know that this is getting a little bit deeper for people who are not astrologers, who are newer to this. I'm just sharing something that I've learned that I want to learn more about. I don't know enough about it yet, but you can run your progress chart on astro.com. You can look at what you've progressed to. And I encourage you, if you have a good fundamental understanding of the degrees from Serious Joy and of your signs and chart, then go and start diving into progressions and see if you can find some stuff and share it with the community. So that's my little bit of research so far. So think about it. If you are 50, 60 years old, you've gone like almost through 2 signs. If you're 60 years old, you've most likely crossed 2 different signs, which means you've learned 2 completely different lessons in your lifetime, because you're going through 30 years in a sign. If you started at 0 degrees Pisces and you do 30 years in Pisces, you've learned everything from top to bottom of what Pisces brings. If you're 60 years old, you've gone now through all of Aquarius, and now you've learned all of Pisces, all of Aquarius. Now, the moment you have a switch, you go into, what's next? Aries. So you would have a massive shift from there. No, is it the other way? No, it's Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. Sorry, guys. Wrong order. What website do you use to find your progress? Astro.com. But let's see. Maybe I can find some more information about progress charts. Does anybody know about progress charts in here? And if you do, just make a comment. Share what you know. What does a progress chart mean to you? I'm 45 and started as a 20-degree Sag. Yeah, so you would have, at about 9-10 years old, you would have switched to a Capricorn. So there might have been a significant shift in your life at that point. That's how I see it. I see it as you're going through different lessons in a sign, and then boom, if you switch to another sign, you're going to go through a completely different experience. And so 10 years, and then you're 45, so another 30 years. You finished Capricorn. You finished Capricorn already. Now you're in your Aquarian years. So Capricorn's all about business, leadership, entrepreneurship. It's about commitment, decision making. So you probably went through some sort of series of learning about control and discipline and work and building things. And now you've switched into Aquarius, which is more innovative. So creative ideas, creative projects, higher self, higher thinking, alignment, belonging. Aquarius is a lot of belonging energy. Like, where do you belong in the world? What resonates with you or not? Do these friends really vibe with you? Vibe is the word for the Aquarians. So progressed charts. Teach me about progressed charts in astrology. Let's see if we can find some stuff. Okay. Progressed chart. So I'm on another website now. Let's give it a try. The standard chart is, so your natal birth chart, this website says it's your karma. A progressed chart is a type of predictive chart, and it shows a person's evolution over time. Okay. The one thing I don't like about karma, using that up front, even though I do believe in karma, is I find karma that comes from other lifetimes, it doesn't feel like I have a decision in this moment. There's not much I can do about it, and I don't know what behaviors that I had in past lifetimes that led to the karma in this lifetime. So I don't like to go there. I think that's going into past lives, to me, is not relevant. It's not, unless you can turn it into usable information. Okay, so progress charts are calculated by a formula that progresses or moves your birth chart forward. So how long does it last? So every planet, so your sun, your moon, your Mercury, which is your mind, Venus, which is your relationships or how you open up to things, your Mars, which is how you take action in your ego, they all move at different speeds. So you might take 30 years to move through a sign in your sun, but your moon moves faster. So what they're saying here, it says approximately moves, the moon is the fastest. So it moves approximately 1 degree per month. It takes approximately 2.5 years for your moon to change signs. So that's much faster than your sun. So just know that every planet moves at a different speed. It's not going to be the same for everyone. And this happens in astrology, just in general. You have Pluto is a generation. You have like a number of people who are born in the generation of Pluto. And that expresses itself in some way. June 4th, 1976. So what you would do is go to Astro.com, put in your chart, and then when you go to select the chart type, scroll down and hit progressed chart. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's anything I can find here that's actually relevant to learning about this. Your soul is maturing. And I think that's really what I like about this. but it does make it confusing because it's like, do I read the chart for Capricorn right now because I'm a Capricorn, or do I read it for Sagittarius? That's why the moon and the tides are very important to pay attention to. Absolutely. I'm going to learn more of this stuff, and I promise that at some point I'll talk more about it. But I think it's important that you use it on yourself first. So go and pull your progress chart at different years of your life where you had pivotal moments and see if you can see a trend. Like go back to when you, let's say at 10 years old, you moved countries. Well, look at what your chart said at that time. And then if you had a relationship or a job or a career progression, go and check your astrology at that time. Okay, this is a good one. Can you progress everything? So you can also progress the ascendant, midheaven. That's interesting because I didn't know that you could progress those. The most important shift is when a progressed planet changes signs. This means that everything ruled is being refreshed and that new desires will emerge. Makes sense. If you're a Sagittarius and you switch to a Capricorn, you're going to have a completely different outlook on life. If you progress Venus, you will want new experiences in relationships. Okay, so that's good to know. So if you go back to a time you had a big breakup, or a time you got married, or a time you got divorced, or a time that you had a shift in your relationships, go to your progress chart at that time, because you can search any day and see if you had a change. This is how you learn. If you can understand the patterns of your life, if you can understand the Groundhog Day that you live in, then you can change it. This is one of the things that we talk about in the 28 day. I actually wrote out a process for it. Let me just bring it up real quick. This is how I see behavior change or Groundhog Day shifts. My belief system around Groundhog Day. I believe that energy hits the earth, that we are in a sine wave, so we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down, and we repeat behaviors and patterns over time. So if you run into an experience every January for 10 years, it may show up slightly differently, but if you really look down at the foundation of the experience, it's all the same. Every time I had a massive shift in my career, it was usually around August. Every time I had a massive shift in my relationships, it was also actually around August. So I can look at that as a Groundhog Day. I had an experience that I have a Groundhog Day around. I constantly cycle through different relationship patterns, different careers in that time frame. Now, one year it might show up as me quitting my job and getting a new one. Another year might show up as me getting a promotion. Another year might be me expanding what I do for work. Another one might be taking on a side project. It's all the same. At the core of it, there's a shift in work, and the shift is change, either expanding or leaving. Now, if you extract that, you can say every year around this time, if I go back 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, and 1 year, I had the same feeling inside, and I had very similar circumstances and similar changes at that time. Okay, great. That's a Groundhog Day. So what can you do to change that? And we talk about this in the 28-day life reset. And it's called How to Use Journaling to Change Your Life. So about 95% of the daily activities that you have are carried out unconsciously. So that means when you drive home, when you first learn to drive, you're really focused. You're really paying attention. And as you get better and better and better and better and better, your body actually habituates it. Your body learns how to drive better than you do consciously. Now you can use your conscious mind to have a conversation with your friend, to text while you drive, because some people do that. Not that I'm encouraging it. To be on the phone, whatever. You can be distracted and drive because your body knows how to drive with or without you now. That's because your body's running an unconscious or subconscious habitual program. And your body knows how to do it with or without you. So you don't need to be there. You can be somewhere else. That is a very powerful tool if you use it right. If you don't, then what you're going to do is you're going to find yourself constantly executing things that you don't want, things that are hurting you, things that are toxic, things that you don't want to repeat. So, 95% of the daily activities that you carry out are unconscious or subconscious. And your body memorizes these and it reacts and habituates them. And it does it with or without you. So, how can we change that? Because if you constantly react to the same situation and you constantly do things the same, you're going to run into the same circumstances a year later. Maybe just a different layer of it. So, step 1, observe yourself and recognize a toxic pattern that you want to change. Okay, so I'll give an example. I'm going to analyze my day. Okay, great. Let's say every time I wake up, I look at my phone first thing and I go into my email and I lay in bed for an hour answering emails. Is that really the most beneficial use of my first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or hour of my day? No, probably not. So I've observed the behavior. I recognize that I've taken note. Step 2, document that pattern. So write it down, put it somewhere so that you know that that's a pattern. Step 3, create a plan to break that cycle. So now you're going to say, okay, instead of waking up and reaching for my phone, I'm going to immediately get out of bed and walk downstairs. Maybe that's as simple as that. Or I'm going to get out of bed and I'm going to do a fast maneuver. Or I'm going to get out of bed, I'm going to go and shower first thing. Or I'm going to get out of bed and I'm going to go have a cup of cacao. Whatever other avenue you want to take, doesn't matter. Pick one. Now, when a similar situation presents itself, implement your new planned reaction to break the cycle. So, when the situation comes up again and your alarm goes off and you wake up, are you going to check your phone? Similar situation presented itself. You woke up again. Are you going to implement the new behavior that you've created, or are you going to repeat the pattern that you had? Okay? So you're going to get tested on this. And you're either going to go and you're going to wake up and you're going to walk downstairs, or you're going to wake up and you're going to jump in your shower first thing, or you're going to wake up and you're going to look at your phone. And if you constantly repeat it, then you're going to stay in the life that you currently have. If you actually implement the new behavior or the new plan, then your life will change. Once you solidify the new habit or the new program or the new behavior, and that becomes your automatic, that's the one that works with or without you consciously thinking. So let's say you've done that for like 90 days. Now when you get out of bed, you don't even bother looking at your phone and looking at your email and sitting there for an hour. Your body has habituated, nope, when I wake up, I get out of bed and I go downstairs. You don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to commit to yourself anymore. You don't have to go through all the emotions of having to break the behavior anymore. Your body does it with or without you. Now you move to a higher state of awareness. You're actually going to break your Groundhog Day. Your life's going to change, and you're going to have a new life. And I promise you, you'll have a new life. And it can be as simple as that. Change one or two things, and over time, your life will change. So that is one of the lessons in the 28-day life reset. It's just one way to change your life, not the only way. But I recommend trying it out. That's why we recommend you journal. It's not about the act of journaling. It's actually about the act of understanding yourself, getting to know yourself, seeing yourself, documenting the behaviors and the patterns that you have with yourself. So with that, I'm going to pass it off to Denise. If you want to stick around and you want to do a Fast Maneuvers class, Denise is one of the coaches. She's in New York. She does a weekly class on Monday nights that you can actually sign up for on our website, and you can attend in person. But she's actually going to do a class right now on Instagram Live. So I'm going to pop off so she can hop on. You can join her, give her some support, move your body, move your fascia, heal your body. We'll see you on Thursday. Thanks, everybody.